Hey, what's up guys, Ryzen here, and it's been a long time since I've uploaded videos. I was busy doing this and doing that, but I don't want to discuss all of that stuff. But in this video right now, I want to talk about a really good, amazing PC that you can max out every games at 1440p or even at 1080p. If you have a 1080p monitor, you can just max out every games at 1080p and get 60 FPS, no sweat. You can even play it 1440p if you have 1440p monitor, or you can use technologies as dynamic super resolution DSR from NVIDIA to bump up the resolution to 1440p or 2160p and get even play from that. But this PC is more targeted towards 1080p gaming. You can just get 60 FPS maxed out every games, that is damn sure. So without any further ado, let's get straight in with number one, the CPU. For the CPU, I went with the AMD Ryzen 7 1700 3GHz 8-core processor for $330. So there's all this hype going around for the AMD's Ryzen CPUs. It was like announced long before, and every PCMR people was like, I want to wait for that. Usually AMD CPUs, they come out boom just like that, and the prices are very high. The specs are also top notch, but in the real gaming performance, they just wash out. They're just washed out. But in the case of Ryzen, for the price point of 1800X like $499, and then 1700X like $399, and 1700 for $330. This CPU is amazing for the price you're paying. This is the price of an Intel Kaby Lake or a Skylake 6700K or a 7700K. But it actually gives the performance of the Intel CPUs, not like, if an Intel CPU like the Kaby Lake 7700K gives a frame rate like 67 FPS, the Ryzen 7 1700 is going to give like 60 FPS, and that's not bad. It's an amazing CPU for the price you're paying. It's just, competing head to head with the Intel CPUs for more value, and, just everything like that. Is the best CPU you can get. It has a maximum turbo frequency of 3.7 GHz, and it's also an octa-core CPU. And this CPU can be also used for future-proofing everything you have. Suppose, you get a GPU now and you want to upgrade to like a 1080 or a 1080 Ti. This CPU can even handle a 1080 Ti 1080p. There are like many gameplays over there. It can even handle that. At 1080p, it might struggle a bit, but it can handle. There's no bottlenecking issues at all. We are hopefully we'll see Ryzen 6, like a budget-oriented, again, like, $250, like, the i5 7600K. Competing with that, we might see in the future. Now for the motherboard, I'm with the Gigabyte GA-AB350M-D3H Micro ATX AM4 motherboard for $92. I'm just that kind of guy who just, doesn't want to spend a lot of money on just a motherboard. A motherboard, is just that kind of, hardware that we just keep all the components in that, and that's it. Motherboard, like LAN, Ethernet killer and all, with RGB lighting, I just don't like that. A motherboard, as much as you can compress the money on that is better, but not too much, spoiling the specs, and not too much on the specs, just middle, somewhere that. So $92, this motherboard is just great. It's got 4 RAM slots, which can support DDR4, 3200 MHz, 64 GB of max storage. It got great support, no crossfire, no SLI support. It's just, like a $92 motherboard, and I obviously don't think anyone is going to go for a crossfire SLI support. It has onboard USB 3.0 headers and 6 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports. So all of those specs, is just top notch for just $92. The motherboard is just great. For the memory, I'm with the Kingston HyperX Fury Black 8GB, 2 4GB sticks running at DDR4 2133 MHz for $65. Now, I don't know what's going on with this whole memory price thing, but if you have seen my, other videos like, the 1070 or the 1080 PC build, you can see that this exact same memory I was getting for $40, $40, and that was just great, for DDR4 RAM, and that to 8GB, 2 4GB sticks for $40 was just amazing. But in this case, we are getting it for $65. I don't know what's that huge price change, but whatever it is, it's not great. But 8GB, there are still people out there telling that, games consume more than 8GB of RAM, at least you need 16GB of RAM. But honestly, me, each and every game I played didn't even consume the complete 8GB of RAM. At least 6.5 or 7, not even more than that. But if you want, you can just future-proof it. Like it. It's got 4 RAM slots, so later if you want to add that more, you can also do that. Now for the hard drive, my usual, thing, Western Caviar Digital Blue 1TB 3.5 inch 7200 RPM internal hard drive for $50. Honestly, this price is not going down. This is a great hard drive. I personally have one, and the boot time is just great. Now for the graphics card, I went with the Zotac GeForce GTX 1060 6GB mini video card for $230. Now for $230, getting a GTX 1060 is a really good deal. I was like, confused between to get a RX 480 and make it a complete AMD build, or just go with a GTX, NVIDIA GPUs, the Pascal GPUs, obviously. But then I thought for $230 getting this even Zotac is really good, and it's even a mini. So if people have small cases, you just want to upgrade the GPU, they can also go with this card. So this GPU GTX 1060 is like an amazing card for $230. $230, you're not missing anything. You can max out every games at 1080p and even at 1440p and get 40 plus FPS in each and every games, no problem. Now for the case, I went with the Deepcool TESSERACT SW ATX mid-tower case for $41. Now you may know, if you frequently see my videos, of my PC build, actually, you can say that in each and every case, I go with this case because it's just great. It's got that, it's a ATX mid-tower case, good place for cable management, and it even has some lighting towards it. So if people are crazy towards, lighting and all, they can also go with this case. So for $41, it's an amazing case. No joke, guys. Go with this one. Trust me. Now for the final part, that's the power supply. I went with the EVGA 500 watt 80 plus ATX power supply for $40. 500 watt was enough in a PC part because when I just went through all of that, total power consumption, it was just below 300 watts. So I was thinking that should I go with a 450 watt or less, to even decrease the total price of this build. But then I thought if you want people, want to feature proof, like they want to keep another new graphic card, which even consumes more power, they can even do that because it's got total power of 500 watts. So that was pretty good. So summing it all, it was like $848, but to get an exact figure, I just went with an $850. So I was just thinking again, should I make a complete new build, with the monitor, with the optical drive, with the software, with the Windows and all of that, everything, keyboard, mouse, and also if you guys want that, please mention in the comment section down below. Anyways, I think this is a great build. If you disliked this video, just hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. I'll catch you guys in the next one.